Hello, welcome to the Financial Ratios tutorial. When you get into the home page, go to Net Worth Summary page. This example farm already has their financial statements, which means they put in their assets and liabilities already. So in the summary page, you'll be looking at on the left side what your assets are and looking down to what the total is, and your liabilities, and it'll total up what your current farm liabilities are and your total liabilities. And the bottom right then is going to be assets minus liabilities equals your starting net worth, in this case of $1.8 million. You can, on the timeline, be looking at what would change. So in 2008, that was what your starting net worth was. In 2009, you'll see how inventory levels have changed, cash accounts have changed, the equipment has been changed for depreciation purposes and maybe replacing, and of course it looks like a good year because now you're up to 2.4 million. So you can look at from year to year in your financial statement just by clicking on the timeline. So that's a very handy way to look at your farm over a series of years. If you're looking at what comes into some of these numbers, so for inventory feed there is 2 items, cursor over the blue schedule and it will show you what's in behind it. In inventory there's 6 items and it will show you the summary of those. Each one of these little pop-up windows come from the schedule below. So here we put into the schedule a way of itemizing all of the summary items that we've put into the front page. So we know what your net worth is. Now let's take a look at other aspects of your financial statement. Go to Report Ratios, and it shows here in a quick report card of the 6 major ratios that farm advisors look at, and starting off with working capital. Now working capital, it explains, is your current assets minus your current liabilities, and included in that current liabilities is your principal due within 12 months. So what that's saying back here on the summary page is, let's take a look at your current farm assets, which in this case totals $829,000, minus your current liabilities, which in this case is $416,000. So when we go back to report ratios, we had the current assets of $829. See how it shows where the numbers come from. We looked at it back at that summary financial statement. Minus current liabilities is $416. So you have a working capital dollar amount of $413,000. You have a very strong working capital. So that's why you have a large green bar here saying that it's very good. The next bar here that we're looking at that's yellow is a working capital ratio. So even though we have a strong working capital, when we go down to working capital ratio is when we look at how much working capital you have divided by how much is needed for next year. So here we like to have a 50% amount of working capital to going into the year, and the working capital was at $413,000, but your working capital requirement is much higher at $1.1 million. So that 36% means that this is a cautionary level, so it's in yellow. And that's why the bars here, these 3 bars, means that it's not a serious problem, but it is in the warning area. The red bar is means that this is a troublesome area. It's in this time if we're looking at term debt. So term debt coverage is a 0.15. The target is 1.5. Therefore, it's a long ways off of the target and should be looked at as to what's going on. So you can look at each one of these explanations as to what the ratio means, and then underneath in the comment section will be how yours is looking. So I hope that is helpful, and once you put the assets and liabilities in for your farm, go to this report ratios page to understand what the strengths and weaknesses of your financial statement are. Thank you.